Okay. Overtime. Looks like another good day of Sanyo. Excuse me. Too much movement. It's okay, we're warming up. We gotta get back at the groove. There's a lot of nuance on these attacks. Gotta slowly build up. Neat. Yeah, that was sketchy. I should try to play to get out. Like, I'll be able to get out to the left, and then that other bolt came. I was like, it'll be fine, and then it wasn't fine. There we go, that's nice. Although, that was lucky as well, but... Get too upset about that one. Whoa! What? I just didn't see that bullet hitting me. That was not. That was even workable too, but there's something about 4 different ways. Speaking of messing up. Wow, look at this. Look how high up she is. That was uncomfortable. I should not have tapped. Oops. Hello. You know, I want to ask because I'm not sure. I'm not sure if when I look at your name, if I'm supposed to say Riddell, or if I'm supposed to say Oradello. Because or Ordelio, I guess is another way. But because I look and I'm like, the numbers kind of make me want to think it's Riddell or Rydell, however you want to go in that regard. You don't say the zeros. Yeah, but like my brain of like defaults to seeing that as a capital O when I see the name. Like, oh, it's Ordell. No, it's not. I just wanted to double check because, you know, some people get quirky with how they spell out names. Listen. We throw early so we don't late. That's how it works. Okay, I wasn't gonna hold too much shame in getting it wrong. I just want to know when I see your name what I can say, or what I roughly should be saying. Because otherwise, what'll happen is I'll say it one way, and then the next time I'll just say it the complete other way, and I won't think twice about it. I'll have no consistency. That's not how I necessarily want to do that spell, but it's how I just did. So. Dude, the difference in our vertical position on that spell is just night and day. I'll walk to the right. think Mizunara might be easier than Aya. Megawu? Megamoo. On normal mode? On Lunatic, Megamoo's definitely easier than Aya. I would say. Like, Aya's probably the hardest boss in Mountain of Faith, at least for normal LNN purposes. Slightly debatable, but I'd say she's probably number 1. Megamoo's not even the second hardest fight in this game. One. Is that my first or second cap? Son of a beach! For 1 CC. True, but like, I should specify for, you know, LNN purposes. I guess translate that to LNB as well, but, you know. Being hard carried by Fearless Wind God? That's not even true. Like, at the very least, even compared to Megamoo, that's not even true, though. Like, Fearless Wind God does a lot of hard carrying, but Spell 1 and Spell 2 are harder than anything Megamoo has. You like General for the 80 streak. There you go. There's your claw. For Touhou game, setting curve difficulty. Yeah, like, arguably UFO is the only game that could fall in that category. There's a world where you could say USD is in that category, I guess. It's not the craziest thing, but USD's weird. UFO 65 might be hard. Yeah, it definitely might be, and I think it's fairly subjective in this regard. But it's like the one game that, like, comes to mind that, like, could be. You know, FW 20 honestly is probably close to being a game that kind of has ascending difficulty. Like, it's probably some of the closest you'll get to being in an ascending order. Like, if you want to argue that Stage 5 is harder than Stage 6, absolutely, I understand that. You know, the nuance with Aria Final kind of throws things a little weirdly, but it's close. And if you want to say that Chimmy on Stage 2 is worse than Stage 3, I could also wholly believe that, but like, as a whole, there is merit to the idea that that game is fairly in ascending order. Almost Wily Beast. Wily Beast, outside of, like, Great Fairy Wars, is probably my least, like, knowledgeable game. So, I'll take people's words for it. Hidden Star. Hidden Star's fair. I'm not the most knowledgeable about its early to mid-game, but oop. Yeah, I said USD is very much a potential candidate, but USD is kind of weird. Because it's kind of an ascending order, but it's also kind of not. And its scaling is also weird. Because books. Just talking bosses. I mean, I'm talking as a whole, yeah. I guess the conversation did start specifically with Aya and Negamu, so it did start with bosses, but... I think if you're just going bosses, I think UFO is a great candidate for this. Oops, that was foolish fool of a took. Now, if you're counting everything, then UFO not as much. But it's still definitely has some closeness to it. Why was I doing that? Like to. What do you tell Alan? You saying that you like actually have a life that you have to do? That you can't always just sit around and watch Touhou? Why did I tap back to the left? I shouldn't have done that line, but it did work. Hello, Clearbot. Oh, come on. Why would you do this, Sonya? Okay, that was a fine way of cope. I mean, like... just go up. Like, I hate it when I, like, play well on, like, when I actually, like, finally play well on the first two attacks. And then my punishment is... let's just dive bomb. Come on! I didn't go far enough left. Hello, Light General. Dude, you just let her get away from you, and you just can't quite get your damage on, like, 2 waves, and you should just get fucked so much on this non. Too much. Decide what game goes which time slot? Yeah, what do you need? Whenever I finish Try, Puppet Dance is going in that slot. Like, generally, my rule of thumb has always been that whatever my turn-based, you know, more traditional JRPG is, put that in the big slot. Oops, why am I on the bottom? And then, for whatever other, you know, the more random type of genres, goes in the other slot. Ooh, Automod doing work again? That's why I put games like Ace Attorney and stuff in that second slot. The only reason FMW's in that slot is because Tri took priority. Like, FMW was in my 3-day-a-week slot. But Labby Tri took priority with that game coming out, so I had to make an exception. I was... It's weird on an attack like that technically has a misdirection to it. That you only misdirect once, and you do not want to misdirect anymore. Oh, this 6-needle dream. Like I say, on the attack where 2/3 of the time it doesn't matter. But sometimes the 1/3 does happen. Misdirect more if we could. Here's the thing: the second misdirection just is not that. Like, honestly, the misdirections are not that good. Like, they're good, but they're not that good. But the second misdirection, it just doesn't have... I have tried doing multiple misdirections, and first of all, son of a bitch! Obviously, you lose damage, which is a big detractor. But the way the clumps align, it's... If you find yourself wide later in that game, it's tragic. Sometimes. It's luck-based, obviously, still, but... What am I doing? It is weird that there's technically, like, multiple, like, pseudo-misdirections on this fight. Which normally can be seen as making something relatively easy. Oops, I didn't do it there at all. But I wasn't punished on that first wave in the slightest, so... It's perfectly fine. Easiest spell too? Just get lucky. Dude, that was like the least impact. That was like the least gameplay oriented non-3 I've ever done. Why would you do left twice? That's a 1 in 9. That was foolish too. You're pounding Sanyo? Yeah, well, trying to. That's what it should be. I shouldn't have created the damage as much. Doing left, my favorite pastime. Right next to her going up. Or, excuse me. I love her going up. Right next to her going down. Poop. That's why you don't play aggressive. Unless you see the situation where you got it. There's too much nuance on these attacks. Why weren't you dead? I guess I lost some damage early. Dude, I love that wave 1 when she gives me that. And then I just immediately just shit the bed. I wait till the bullet's right next to me and then I walk into it. Gosh, if these first 2 attacks could be replaced with like so many other things, this fight would be so much better. His non-wanted spell are so fucking dog. Yeah, there we go. There's nuance reading. You buy a hug on the 2 waves where it's relevant, and the 1 wave you read the move up, you do the move up. Insane with it. Pushed a little far to the right there and didn't love that, but... Hey! She went to the right. One. And I immediately died of the first wave. That was holy. A terrible idea. I was like, oh, it's gonna line up with the first wave, but like you just fucked yourself over with the other wave. My favorite wave 1. Oh, that was workable. Actually, that wasn't even workable. That's favorable. Don't walk. Stop walking into the bullets. It's giving me good waves too, and I'm just not capitalizing on them. Now and then she's gonna eventually go back to giving me bad ones. That move left was just tragic. This is one of those waves, or attacks, where... Because, like, on Sanyo Final, you notice when you get that 1 in 3 to cuck you over. Like, the difference is obviously whether or not you do the attack just immediately or not. But in terms of left-right movement, I'd argue the biggest one on this fight, besides the Poops Final, is this Nod 1. Like, if she ever 1 in 9s you, you're just fucked. And that's a problem, because 1 in 9 is like 11%. Well, 1 in 9 with big movements is the thing. So it's less odds than that, but it's still up there. Like, it's usually 1 in 9 plus, I don't know, probably another like 1 in 5. So it's probably closer to like 2-3%. Oops, that was on me entirely. It's also theoretically less relevant because wave 1 isn't going to screw you with movement, because you'll be able to follow that wave, so it's only the later waves after that point. With movement. Because, at least with non-2... Oops, that was... Dude, I can't capitalize on these good non-2s. Because, like, the thing with non-2, and actually, like, basically every other attack, is it's not like they get worse over time. It's just this one is an exception. Like, with Spell 1, the second wave is going to be worse than the first, but every other wave is about the same. It just depends slightly on her movement prior to it, but, like, it doesn't get... This attack fucking just gets... If she goes away from you too much on non-1 and you have to extend it 1 to 2 waves, the other attacks have safeties that you can play for. Oh, you can extend it a wave and be okay. I can't stop walking into bullets. Like, right when the bullets, I dodge the bullet, and then I walk into it. What? Wow, that uppermost bullet was just much further to the left than I thought it was. moving. I've fallen off. It's over for me. And then when the non-2 is a harder non-2, I do it. Makes sense. Ah, yeah, bye! Dude, that bullet was just cringe! What? Hitbox moment? That's the entire fight, unfortunately. I went left or right on that bullet, and I couldn't make up my mind. What I should probably just do on spell 1 is I should figure out if, with all the wave 1 combinations, which is not much, if you can just always do a center play on spell 1. On the first wave of spell 1. Specifically. Can't stop walking into the bullet. Remember what I said I was going to do, and then I immediately didn't do it? Don't worry, I'll remember next time for sure. Very significant. It is, unfortunately, very significant. It's definitely one of the big Reimu drawbacks. That was sketchy. Although it's not 2, it's always gonna be sketchy. Oh, okay, like, what the fuck are we doing here, girl? That's why you don't misdirect late waves, by the way. You always want to do that on wave 1, you just gotta dodge it better, in case you get bad luck like that, but... And I just... You know, this game would be so much friendlier if this fight, these first 2 attacks didn't exist, and the blue cuts on stage 4 didn't exist. This game would be a perfectly fine game. to run. You can throw Cat Final in the mix too. Although Cat Final is like, it's not that important. Need more Mega Move laser spells? So true. Yes, the blue on stage 4. Like, I hate Jimbo, but like the blue is what it's the blue and then the transition after the blue that's really the icing on the cake. Need more distortion attacks. I'm fine if we have more distortion attacks as long as they're not non-1. One. Shall I test my theory? Tested it close enough. Wow. Say non-1, Sanyo non-1, to be fair, I think all of Sanyo's. That was a crazy gap. All of Sanyo's nons, I think, are distortion attacks. It's just non-2 is the only one you really take advantage of. Or utilize the distortion, like, at all. I hate you! More trouble with Sanyo than Misamaru? Absolutely. Because Misamaru is funneled into 2 attacks. Not that the rest of it can't be a problem. Like, the rest of it, when does Sanyo become free? That's what I'm trying to find out. Because Misamaru, 4 of her attacks are manageable. Sure, Spell 2 with bad movement can be really tight. But like, and like non-3 is kind of awkward. But like, they're manageable. Like, they're fine. They're not garbage. Like Misamaru's funneled into 2, mostly into 1 attack, but like, Suffocation deserves it deserves a large note too. Even if it's not what Divine Orbs is. But, like, Sanyo is just spread everywhere in its own right. Like... And it's the way. It's just the method. Give me Divine Orbs before you give me this. Is this easier than Divine Orbs? Probably. I mean, yeah, it is. Not by, like, a large margin, but it is. But fuck, give me Divine Orbs before you give me this stupid, astonishing Koma Magusa, or whatever it's called, Koma Magusa. Oop, I didn't move it. I hate the world. When we get a patch that makes it so the screen shake on that Raikou spell is on the whole run? Yeah, why don't you get on that? Distortion attacks. Because if you notice right here on non-1 for distortion attacks, I can stand up here and distort that first wave. And I believe that's technically optimal. However, you can't distort any of the other waves. You just... Unless you're playing absurdly aggressive. Which is not what I'd recommend. You distort spell 1. that was on me. Try that. Well, that's why I was asking as I finish the attack. It's like I can't do it at that point. But, oops, I didn't. I was like, maybe I should look just to see if it like can do anything. Something definitely does happen. I don't know necessarily what it is, but something does happen. It's worth noting it is technically a distortion attack. Dude, you have so much time and so much more space when she's nice to you on this attack. And as I'm complimenting her, she kills me because I walk into it. The problem with her distortion attacks is the fact that, like, this one, you can't get to the other ways to distort them. Like, you just don't have the time, unless, like, again, unless like I said, unless you're playing hella aggressive. Joe has some distortion attacks. Which show attacks are distortion based? UFO, do Hidden Star. I mean, both games are very high in the running for my next one. I'll say Hidden Star is probably currently higher up than UFO is. You go, Ellen, true. You go, no, I don't know. No, I'll just play Touhou 20 if I want that. That way nobody knows anything. With Reimu homing, how am I supposed to do the stage 5 Black Fairies? I don't know. Fucking figure it out. How am I supposed to do this impossibility that is stage 5 with the current loadout I'm doing? Just dodge? Just go to the left? One. Spell 1 final. If there's supposed to be like a comma in between there. Gosh, I fucking hate show spell 1. From my time once he's seeing that game. Our spring is certainly frightening. I will beat this one. Listen! As long as on is not as bad as this... surely it'll be fine. I love this. I fucking love this spell sometimes. Much people do Hidden Star because you can never do Satone's mid-boss attacks. I know the one on... I know the mid-boss attack on Stage 4 is a complete route. I don't remember the Stage 5 one. I remember the Stage 5 one. I'm pretty sure I, like, learned it a bit, but that was a while ago. Sorry, the game is 100 times easier than this. This and Mountain of Faith. Let's not forget I just came off of that as well. You know, Bumper Crop, Exile Doll, and Hydro, my beloved. You know, sometimes I go to the left of that purple bullet, and sometimes I go to the right of the purple bullet, and I'm inconsistent with which one I choose to do, and it has cost me sometimes. Poshi, thank you for the 30 stream streak. I appreciate it. Sorry, it's one of the easier games. It's one of the easier games, and when people are talking about games average difficulty, and then when they actually talk about the specifics of Hidden Star, they talk about how impossible it is. So it's one of those really weird, nuanced games where Hidden Star is free, but it's also impossible. Wait, that's just every Touhou game. Ay, boo. I know I've asked this before, but what did you do in Hidden Star, Alan? I forget. So, my apologies, but I know I've asked this question before. But I cannot remember what the answer was. Oops! I have fall. Apologies, yeah, that's what I said. Do the sub shots ever matter? I believe there's scaling difficulty of them, yeah, right? Because not Reimu, Spring sub shots homing, so like that's a notable distinction there. Okina Final, dude. Okina Spring Final is the greatest Touhou attack of all time. Nah, it's not the greatest. It's like top 5, so. Also do some good damage. Well, those ones are also pretty like straightforward because isn't Summer the really like spread one, and Spring obviously gives you homing. Name a winter bug is active for exactly 1 stage. What the fuck is the winter bug? Is that the bug that lives in snowflakes that bites my pee-pee, and if it does that, it's gonna make me pee snow for the rest of winter? That's why you don't stick your dick in the snow, people, by the way. You guys never heard that one? Kids these days, they're just not taught these things. Here's my one biggest hesitation though, Game Glitcher, of going back to playing Hidden Star after this. I'd have to do fucking Bullet Golem. Like, I don't want to learn Bullet Golem. Gaining winter release levels, the extra options to start shooting even though they aren't supposed to. Stack a bunch of DPS you shouldn't have. Fix itself when you change stages or stop shooting. No, so you can never trigger it again. Weird. Well, Golem so easy, it's a route. Kaimata semifinal in this game's a route. It's not free. Yuka final is in Lotus Land's route. That's not free. Still annoying to learn. Yeah, I can't believe you don't like this. I can't believe you guys don't. The people. I can't believe you think that that Legendary Flying Saucers is a hard attack. Just sit there for 100 hours learning it. It's just that easy. Once you've done it for 100 hours, you'll learn it's consistent. I fucked my own ass! Oh, this is the hardest Byakuran attack? No, it's the second hardest Byakuran attack. The hardest Byakuran attack is non-2. If you have to combine 3 spell cards into one to create the most impossible one. If the intention is to create the most impossible attack, you throw in, like, Okina, Spring Final, PDH, and, I don't know, Arya Final. They fucking send it. Listen, in UFO, there are 3 attacks. During my 1cc grind, there are 3 attacks I never capped. Show Spell 1. Legendary Flying Saucers. And Byakuran non-2. Byakuran non-2 is not a spell! You don't get caps for that! The point remains. I just had to get that out there before someone else does. RPG? No, the term is RPG. It stands for role-playing game. I don't know why Chicken Butt would mention that of all time, but... boys. Poppy's is a fun fight. Final Beast was the first Stage 5 boss I ever did a perfect boss on. On Lunatic. Obviously, even the hardest fairy anymore. That's true. Those black fairies on Stage 5 of Touhou 20 are something else. Hey, did you say Junko Final, Kina Final, Rainbow Pyramid?
Koishi said spell cards. Rainbow Pyramid isn't a spell,
You throw Fog in there? Sure. You know how much I hate Fog. 1! Our Stage 5 boss is Orin because she's an SA. Needle Ziore is impossible. Ooh, nice try with that sideways one. Can we ban Riddell for this? Hello? Can we ban for this just insane slander out of nowhere? Swing Shot is clearly the best shot type in the entire game. Anyone who says wrong just clearly hasn't played the game. I don't know what we're talking about. You really think she's the 4th best shot? Yeah, that puts it as the 3rd worst. Burritos of Yore. Do we also ban Chicken Butt? Probably just ban everyone that's not Alan. That's 2, by the way? Listen, someone who adds a Reimu B LNN, I can assure you that Suika is the best shot type in the entire game. You can take my word. I'm 100% telling the truth. I would never lie about that. I would never do really questionable hitboxes on Sanyu Spell 1. Kazoots, you are allowed to stay as long as I'm allowed to loot on. It's free area. Dude, some point I gotta pull back the clip from the most scuffed possessed fairy anyone's ever seen. That ended with a cap on fucking case. I ended up dying later on that fight, but... You wanna see that? It's a strat where I ended up... Where... Because normally I hug her head, and then I go to the bottom. And then I just kind of do from the bottom there. But I didn't. I ended up having to escape to the left. And I had to play the most scuffed fuck... It was like 45... I think I almost timed it out. Speaking of scuffed...
Ah, you... Look at her HP, doesn't even have health.
Hello, Sophanus. Damn it, that was my 3-2. Eek. This is as good as possible sometimes for seemingly no reason. That's very true. I feel like sometimes I'm just doing my standard route and it's like, oh, it's fine. And then you do it again. It's like, oh, it's fine. And then you do it again. It's like, why isn't it fine? These first two attacks make me want to cause violence. Why did Zune make these? That was times cancel. It works. That should be it with an it is. That should have an apostrophe in there. So, I haven't grammar checked someone on that in a hot second. It's been like a week. This attack is impossible sometimes. Sometimes Sanyo just gets in a mood on literally any attack. Non-3 is really the only attack that, she, really never gets in a mood. Like, the other 5 attacks, sometimes she's just in the mood. Like, you get home from work. You know, it's like 6 days of the week, your wife, she's just not in the mood, right? And then just, for whatever reason, just one fucking random day you come home and she's just all over it. It's, it's crazy. Just for whatever reason, one day. There's no signs telling it's going to happen, too. It just happens. Why did I do any of that? I put myself in the triangle. Wow, that's a hitbox moments. You know what she really hasn't done? Okay, you know what? Okay. You know what she really hasn't done all day in practice? The disgusting, impossible down movement on non-2. So I'm glad that she pulled it out yesterday in the middle of a run. Yippee! Quarter for every Sanyo death, you'd be rich. I'd be more broke than you'd think I would be. Because it would take 4,000 deaths to Sanyo to get yourself $1,000. I would consider $1,000 rich. If that was the case, then I would be rich already. One. Yo. Addicted to Sanyo. That's what you want to call it. Speaking of being rich. So I went out and bought a Switch 2 the other day. After I said prior, I was like, there's really no reason for me to go get one, so I was going to get one. Well, I bought one. Although the reason is because on Saturday, going over to my friend's place, I go to grab my Switch from the dock, put it in a bag. I pick it up, I'm like, wait, why is it turning on? Wait a second. Imagine a little for a bill of that, I'm like, Because for a while, couldn't get anything to work, so then I was like, well, guess I can go buy a 2. I said I wouldn't get a Switch 2 unless either Monolith Soft announces something new that's Switch 2 exclusive, or, oops, I was unfocused. Or my Switch 1 shits the bed, and well, my Switch 1 may or may not have. I did eventually get it to work a little, like, not great. It's got some problems right now, but. Country Tropical Freeze comes out. Tropical Freeze 2, excuse me. So the next fighting game will come out on Switch 2. I mean, Antinomy of Common Flowers is on the Switch as is, so honestly, I wouldn't be that surprised. Like, the first time I ever played Antinomy of Common Flowers was on the Switch. That was the first fighting game I ever actually played at all. The Switch, you place your car when the fuel light hits E. Yeah, when the fuel hits E, that means the car's gone, right? You gotta get a new one. Exclusive on this Switch too. Yeah, that's what the Zoom's gonna do. Sure. Why would you walk away from me? I just hate when women walk away from me all the time. This is so sad. Can we get $5 million? Of having to dance really far. Because the attack hates me. Whoa, that was on me. Oh, number one, why? Why do you use this? Why is this? Why do these first 2 attacks exist? I gotta start going out more for the first wave. Bad line. Thank you for the good luck, Farood. Appreciate it. She moved down. GG, go next. Oh, I wasn't left enough. You know, speaking of Auron from earlier, you know what Auron doesn't do? down movement. Or RNG down movement to screw you over. I think non-3 is the only attack where that is, like, at all actually relevant on. Like, at all, I think. Can't believe Yumu's in this game, the spell card.
Why are you like this?
I need to take a water break. Tea break. Eek! Okay, what are we doing here? Kind of a greedy line for damage, but like it worked. One. Die! Oh, what? How? That'd be one of the most disgusting non-threes I've ever seen. The legendary Touhou?
Ah, that was more than doable. I should have played a little bit more defensive. Ah, my 2 again.
I'll be back in there. I'm gonna go take a water pee break. Okay, back. Everyone point and laugh at Light General for misspelling Slug Knife. Okay, right back to it. The other chat members just cringe. We'll have to get the streamer on the other end.
No, I did it again! Good on 2 movement.
Wasted. What do I say about aggressive movement sometime? Oftentimes, you are your own worst enemy. It's important to pick that up sometimes and slow down. Wow. Oh, wow. I should do this. I should try this boss at some point. No focus. The no focus Sanyo challenge. See how that goes. How long do you think it would take to get a no focus Sanyo? Perfect Sanyo. She is literally kissing the ceiling. That's an awkward wave. Does happen on non-3 sometimes. That's sad. I know my early parts of Sonya, especially in Spell 1, are getting better. Just on both of these attacks. So very prone to heavy dosages of panic. So I really gotta iron that out. But we will get there, eventually. Or will I? I hate when I died the first bullet. That's the one that feels the worst. Should've gone left. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, didn't. Whew. Oh, I put myself right on the bullet from the last wave. That's a no-no. I should have been left. I'll get my Sanyo goal eventually. Won't be today, but I will eventually get it. So I'm gonna go 5 in a row. Oops! That's always my go-to with things. It's trying to go for 5 in a row. Whether I do it on individual attacks or a boss fight as a whole. Varies over time. A lot. It's what I did on Alice, and it took me a while. It took me a while to do on Alice, and it's gonna take me several blue moons to do it here. But before I came back to this, I did actually have a 4-in-a-row Sanyo once. I've almost had 2 3s on the day. One of them I was a frame off, but oops. A little bit throwing to the final. Yeah, there are certain things I don't necessarily go for 5 in a row on. For example, Peerless Wind God. I think I hit a 4 in a row. Actually, I think I hit like a 4 in a row on that or something, but I didn't go out of my way for that. Why did I do that movement? I don't know. In this game, I'm not looking to do 5 in a row on spam, on yellow spam. I'm not looking for 5 in a row on Divine Orbs. But I want 5 in a row on Sanyo. I think the #1 challenge of this run is going to be getting Sanyo as consistent as possible.
And so that's the game plan.
And hey, that's 1. That's why I always say a number after every Sanyo. Priority. Yes, and here's the thing. Divine Orbs feels more gambly. Sanyo definitely can cuck you over with terrible RNG. But it's not that common. Like, even a 1/3 on the final, which is like, 1/3 happen. They more than exist, but like, oh, like that was a very fair wave I just threw. She's a higher part, yes. Because like, on stage 4, what's like the highest priority? It's like, obviously, yellow spam is a massive problem. But, well, like, what are you doing on yellow spam? Realistically doing on yellow spam. Like, what are you realistically getting yellow spam? And with how much effort? Like, I'm honestly kind of happy with yellow spam as it is. I did it again! Okay, it's been about an hour 45, so let's go dive the cat for, like, 15 minutes. Also, yellow... Hello, Kageyama. Yellow spam doesn't really matter if you can't even Sanyo. It's kind of the thing, right? That's Kagura's pace. Second time, that's easy stage section. You forgot? Oh, I have done that. Dude, I've died perfect pace on Spleen Eater, or the equivalent on Lunatic. I forget what it's called on Lunatic. I just call it Spleen Eater because it's the funnier name. Even that technically has some like problems to it, but like there's a lot of random late game things, mid to late game things that I've whoopsie-wood things. I mean, have you seen how many Stage 5 Mountain of Faith paces I had that I lost on Stage 5 to? Into different things, too. Like, if it was like, oh, it was just the one attack, that's like, oh, you know, I was struggling with just the one attack or something. But there are multiple parts of that Stage 5 that I've randomly died to. I have more on pace. I have almost twice, not there, but almost twice as many Stage 5 deaths than I do Stage 6 deaths in Mountain of Faith. Why would you go to the left? It's like every game, at least that I've done, has that segment that I've really. The segment that's not the hardest part of the run that you have to spend more time on than the hardest part of the run, I'd argue. I think in this game, it's Sanyo. Like, in PCB, I spend an ungodly amount of time on Alice. Because I think that's... Stage 1's fine. Stage Chen has her problems. The Gamble Core early game spell card that, that exists in, like, every fucking game. And then and that Alice was really where it ramped for me. Where it's like... Yeah, like, you want to get to Stage 4 and then see how it goes, because that Stage 4 is rough. But, like, the problem is, you get to Stage 3 and then it's just boom, boom, boom to Alice. It's like, well, what are we doing? That was really difficult to begin with. Yes! Absolutely. I'd say Subterranean is actually the only game where I'd argue it's not even on stage 3. Although I did have to... What did I do? This is just a terrible line. Why did I go to the top right so fast? She compares to Alice. She doesn't... Like, obviously this game is harder than PCB, but in the context of the run, she fills the same role. I guess she's closer to the Prism Rivers in that regard, but still, same type of role. In Subterranean, it was Yuki for a time, but Yuki was better than Alice. And I got through that. Not too bad. It was really that... It was stage 4. It was the Satori problem. That was what I really had to push my luck on. Although, it was definitely a lot of Yuki, too. So that one's kind of mixed. In Mountain of Faith, it was Exile Doll, Hydro Camo. Honorable mention goes to Illusionary Waterfall. As just the things that gatekeep the hardest part of the games. The things that gatekeep the late game that you just gotta do. Otherwise, it's just go boop, go boop. I should say mid-spell. Yeah, but like that's after Aya. That does deserve its own like little note, to be fair, but in its own thing. Although, to be fair with Sanai, if you die to Sanai mid-spell, you can still play stage 6. Okay, you 2-death to Sanyo. Suddenly you're at the opening section of stage 4 with 2.0 power. And it's also not looking good. In terms of finishing runs, yeah, like there's a difference between like finishing run versus getting versus pace, obviously. But like I'm of the belief that like whatever is the biggest problem in a game, for example, let's take Mountain of Faith. Okay, like obviously Momiji. Peerless Wit, like the stage 4 is the hardest part of the game. Sure, stage 6 has its own problems. Like obviously, like Kaneko has a lot of hard attacks. The Death Fairy is also brutal, right? But like the biggest the hardest part of Mountain of Faith is getting through Aya. Right, is that Momiji through Aya is just it's one of those things where you gotta keep going into, you just gotta keep at it over and over, and you'll start to get things through. And that's kind of the case with PCB spam. I was fortunate with it, but it's kind of the same logic. Sure, you can try to get as good a spam as possible, but like there's like a limit to like, because spam is spam. Like, how good are you realistically gonna get at it? Unless you're literally like one of the greatest of all time. I saw that, okay. And even then, if you're one of the greatest of all time, why are you playing PCB? And complaining about spam. So it's one of those things where, like, you know, Aya's at the same regard. This game 100% has this on stage 4. you can learn your ideas, you can get good at some parts of the stage 4, but like I'm never gonna reach a point where I have a going into stage 4, I have a 30% chance to perfect stage 4. 30% on stage 4 spam in this game would be really good. Like, on spam, let alone the stage. So it's kind of one of those things where the real, like, you could theoretically grind it out, like, just a shit ton to get as good as you could possibly get at it. Or you just keep throwing yourself at it over and over and over and over again, and you'll get past it sometimes. And that's not saying you shouldn't practice stage 4 and that, like, you just kind of, like, you just wing it. I practiced a lot and learned it. So learn all RNG patterns of spam that becomes free, of course. Dude, Divine Virtue's a Wind God. It's theoretically an attack where you can pre-read the entire thing and map it out ahead of time. And for being an attack that you can theoretically do it, actually doing that is insane. Like, trying to do that part ways, which I did, was really hard, and I couldn't even do that fully. At work, I've been during some of my slower times, I've been slowly piecing together a script. I want to make a Divine Virtues video at some point. And I'm just completely going over that attack, because I think Divine Virtues is such a fascinating attack. Because, like, I've practiced a lot of Stage 4 in this game. I mean, you see how much I play Divine Orbs. I love Divine Orbs. But, like, I feel like the nature of this Stage 4 is I just need to keep getting to— You fucking rat! I hate you! Look at this! I hate the world. Shit-talking Mick. Hey, Mick is a very nice guy. I like Michael Cat. I just don't like her as a boss. Not a good P collection. It's still fun. Cap, she's the easiest boss at least. Is making Final better than Gen Final? Probably. But I don't think it's that big of a gap. So I think the most important thing in this game, in my opinion, what I play for, is it's getting better at the Stage 3, which, for the most part, is Sanyo. And that's also one thing that's actually nice about this Stage 3 that I've found. Getting better at Sanyo makes me better at Sanyo the mid-non. Specifically, the non-1 to mid-non translate actually fairly well with each other. Doesn't really help out the spam section that much, but that's its own story. I think I'm in a lull with the spam section right now, because I was good at it. I've kind of, like, fallen off. So I think I just gotta pick back up on that one. But my mid-nons have become a lot better in the last, like, half a week. And you know what? I'm out of town this weekend. So I'm gonna come back on Monday, and we're gonna play like a god, surely. Who's ready yet? Not good enough. 11. You didn't bribe him with enough money. You gotta send him more money. Well, like, the other thing, too, is I know I'm in it for the long haul. Like, with Touhou as a whole, so, like, there are theoretically, like, certain things I could be hyper-focusing on and, like, really specific practice techniques to try to try to optimize my growth in getting better at certain Touhou games, but I'm not really that interested in that. I'm perfectly fine to take things a step at a time. Yeah, every LNN spam will feel easy. I mean, a big answer with a lot of attacks is just you just gotta kind of like run your head into it enough times with an open enough mindset to try to look for new things, and sometimes you'll just see a new way to look at an attack.
Wow, I did it properly! Look at me!
That was hard. Dude, watch. I'll end up playing Hidden Star after this game, and then I'll complain about how Eternity is just impossible. Three, 2, 1, 0. Me for 1 week. Dude, I don't know if you saw me while playing PCB, but fucking letting on 2, that shit's fucking impossible, bro. Holy fuck. Right, not 2. Because what happened is I'd get farmed by Chen 20 times in a row, and then I'd fucking die to like letting on 2 twice in a row. I'd just get so fucking tilted. Yeah, but here's what I'll always say: the hardest stage 1 is whatever stage 1 you're currently playing. Every other stage 1 you can look at and be like, man, that'd be so nice right now. If only it wasn't for this on my current stage 1. Like, how else do I sit here at times and be like, man, I wish I was playing Yamame again? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I shouldn't do that. When I played that game, fucking Yamame was the worst piece of shit ever. But now when I fight Mickey, I'm like, man, I wish I was fucking fighting Yamame right now. That was disgusting to Kane. What the fuck? Okay, I want my Minariko back, which is not something I should be saying. Okay. My hatred for Hydro is like my hatred for Hydro and Fog just doesn't really exist right now. Pro players are way too entitled to smug. Spend your USD easy 6 minutes on Maribel's website and they didn't improve it. Whether it was with these guys, that's a good point. Just not listed. Money is the best lawyer in hell. Hey guys. Okay, whatever. I'm moving on to Labby after this one. Anyone likes to do meme LNN here? I guess because as long as you have the money, it doesn't count as a death, right? You see 5 lives starting at stage 2. Well, when I buy a life per stage. Like, here's the thing. This section, I fucking hate this section. It's disgusting. Like, doing this blue section on a run is revolting to me. Dude, when I am past this game, I will look at this section and be like, yeah, that's a really cool section. It's a bit tricky, like, it can trip you up, but it's a really cool section. When I'm doing that section, like, right now, fucking, it's miserable. Maybe miserable is a bad way to put it. Whoa, what am I doing? Fuck is wrong with me? Streaming? Yeah, streaming with nuance. We'll just ignore the nuance. I don't like the fact that the bullets on her Midnon are like bright pink on this background. I don't love that. Most based spam section? It's just so important on that spam section that you play it unfocused for as long as you possibly can. As much as you possibly can, and trying to be focused as little as humanly possible. It's not always easy to do, but... Thread bullets of a mush of useless stuff, not a gimmicky love. You talk about like that blue section. It's so peculiar, like because like all the bullets are like kind of in a line, and you have to pick out which ones are like not in the actual line, right? Because like most of them are aimed at you. It's like, oh, that's fine, you just stream. But like there's the few that aren't, and that's the awkward thing. It's a cool section. I'll give it that. It's awkward to play. It's a cool. I think it's a cool design section. It's not that hard. It's awkward. Okay, regardless of what happens on this Sanyo, I'm already so much better than I was before. There was a panic dodge my body almost just instinctively made on that, I think it was the first or second wave, and I didn't do it. I'm so unbelievably happy. Don't do me like that. Ooh. Awkward wave. Ooh, that was another one. My body really wanted to go left, but I was like, nope, we're going right. So glad I did too. Oh. Literally free. I almost instinctively pressed escape R to redo the Sonya fight again. It's like Captain, I was like, oh, go for another. I love stage 4. The stage of hopes and dreams. Uh-oh. It's fine. It's fine. I can't put myself on the wall, but, like, I had already killed most of them. Okay, now if you think stage 3 is difficult, what about this stage? Wait, no, but this part's free. Look at this. This is fine. These green guys known as being impossible? Easiest shit I've ever done in my life. Have I ever talked about how much I don't like Jimbo? It's been a hot minute since it's all been Sanyo as of the last, like, half a week. Have I ever talked about how much I hate Jimbo? That's the worst time to die, too, because there's still this part going up. Oh, that blue bullet! What are you doing there, my guy? Oh, that is not very good. Fine. You played around it. I adapted, I played around it. I learned. We're ready for a entire stream of Jimbo. That might happen at some point. But it's not happening right now. You gotta remember to do this section properly. I often fuck it up because I treat it like the 3 fairies on stage 1, but... You know, honestly, though, still phenomenal. Like, that's the thing about the blue section. Honestly, with the part I died, it was at a good point. It was before the fairy spawned in, so I was still able to get max damage on him. I die once on spell 1. Yes, that does require me not to die anywhere else. Cool. Okay, me some Mars Freak. It also requires me to also only die once on this spell. Now we cap these. Oh, too much movement. That's actually really close, too. If I had max power, that would... I don't think that would have been a cap, but that would have been close. I think it would have been off by about half a second had I had max power. Nice downward movement, my dear. Nice thing about downward movement on those ones, it makes 2 easier. Dude, she drops so much power compared to Sanyo. What the fuck? Like, I knew spell 1 dropped a lot, but she drops so much power. Thanks for the left move. I really appreciate it. I know you're looking out for me. What the fuck? That was... Oh, I walked right into it. Disaster. Now I have no wit. Wow, I deserve 100% to have died there. You have preference for side to vinyl? I mean, I say I prefer to the right. I try to move her to the right. I don't think it really matters. But I do. Just to have a method. Oh. Okay. The gluttonous centipede. Back! Could not come to any conclusion. I don't have a real conclusion. Like I said, it's just placebo. I think I'm too fast. Fine. The top section was a little scuffed because I put myself to the right too early, but... Yeah, I did a double loop, which is not optimal, although not being at max power will make it a little bit sketchier. What? I wasn't even looking at the screen! I hate you. It didn't happen on my LNB, which I'm kind of surprised about because that just happens here. This attack is dog. Oh, I'm not even capping it. Oh, there goes the run anyway. I wasn't gonna be able to clear it in time. I didn't have enough P. I should have started shooting her at the second attack though.